website's no different. If your members have to think about what you're trying to say and decipher it and try to figure out the meaning of what's on the page, you're going to frustrate them, and it's going to ruin your member experience. Does anybody have any questions about clarity?
Yeah, I'd just be curious to know where you've seen organizations struggle with this, what areas of their website they need to focus on.
So the biggest struggle we see with associations and their websites around clarity is generally they tend to use jargon, right? So sometimes that'll be clever phrasing. Often you see abbreviations, which the staff understands, it makes sense to them. But to an outsider, to a prospective member, or somebody who's not as up to date with the association politics, they don't know what it is. They don't know what, for example, having like CBQR in the navigation, that doesn't make sense. Similar clever branding ideas, they don't really make sense to navigation. So you want to strive to be clear. And this is actually symptomatic of our third point. You want to organize your website. Fix number 3 is to organize your website around your member goals. Right? So this is a problem which persists everywhere. We see this in associations, nonprofits, businesses, personal relationships. And the issue is that when you're communicating with somebody, you're telling them what you want them to know rather than what they want to know, right? So with association websites, a real common symptom of this, something that you'll see is the navigation. The first item on the navigation and the last item on the navigation. They are both critical pieces, they're focal points for where the eye goes. So some of the 2 most important parts. What do you think is the first item most associations put on the navigation? About, exactly, right? The assumption is that when somebody comes to your website, what they want to know is about your association. They want to see your officers, they want to see when you're founded. That's what the association cares about. But that's not what your members care about, and what your prospective members care about. So you have to turn how you organize things, the navigation, the content, the structure, and focus it in on their goals. What are they trying to do? There's a model in website design you probably have all heard of. It's a brochure website, and it implies like a static website. Like there's nothing that changes on the website, it's a brochure. And that's how a lot of people think about websites. They think in terms of, let's just take all of what we want them to know and put it in the brochure, and in this case it's our website, right? I want you to take a different perspective. I want you to think about your website as if it were a robotic answering machine, like a telephone robotic answering machine, right? So when you call up, say, your doctor's office, you get that voice and it says, if you want to make an appointment, press 1. If you need to change an appointment, press 2, right? Your website should be organized the same way. It needs to be structurally streamlined around what your members want. Your members, you don't want to call up the doctor's office and hear, press 1 to learn about us. Press 2 for CBQR, right? It doesn't make sense. You want to narrow in on what they're trying to accomplish and structure your headings, your navigation around that, around leaning it in, around what your members want to do, what your prospective members want to do as well. So next up, we're going to do an exercise, and this is called the stranger test. And typically you want to do this with somebody who has no idea about the association space, somebody who's not a member, just a random person. The last time I did this was in a coffee shop. I literally grabbed the person next to me and I said, hey, I've got some questions, do you mind answering them? And so what we're going to do is, basically you take a look at a website and you try to answer some basic questions. What's this website about? Who's it for? Right? These are around clarity, like for fix number 2. Finally, you want to move on to member goals. And basically ask them, how would you go about renewing your membership? How would you find out about the annual event? Ask questions that you know your members are trying to find answers to, right? So for this example, we're going to pass out a paper. It's going to have the National Pest Management Association, basically a screen grab on the homepage, and it's up here as well. And additionally, you're going to get a rubric, and the rubric is just a basic list of questions, 0 to 10, on how easy it is to find the information we're looking for. How easy is it to find membership information to renew? How easy is it to find the national event? And you just score them 0 to 10. And then after 5 minutes, we're going to come back, and basically we're going to look, and you're going to give me advice on what we can do to change the structure of this website in a way that better serves members. Can we put 5 minutes on the clock?